fit to speak. My funny, sweet promise. My funny, sweet promise. My funny, sweet promise. My funny, sweet promise. Each day is that time. Your hand on me, no, 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 no. Each day is that time. Your hand on me, no, 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 no. It's my funny, sweet promise. My funny, sweet promise. Each day is that time. Your hand on me, no, 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 no. Each day is that time. Your hand on me, no, 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 no.
Hey everybody, how are you doing on this wonderful Friday evening? Is the audio level good? Can everybody hear me okay? going to be a little quieter today. Carly is at an event. I don't exactly remember what she said she was doing. It has something to do with her brother. So it's just going to be me. It's going to be relaxing. Probably turn up the music. I will try to pay close attention to the chat so I can answer any questions that are posed. Yeah, so today I think what we'll do is we will hop back to the humanoid mutant. I've been screwing around with it just a little bit. I didn't have a whole lot of time to look at it this week, but I'm going to try something new so that yeah, hopefully we can see it in Engine at least by the end of the stream, but we'll probably learn some things together about Substance Painter, which I have a little experience on. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. It's been mentioned a couple of times in chat so far, but we had a big Kickstarter update today. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's live on Kickstarter on our campaign page. And then the other big news is that we've got our first closed beta release of System Shock Enhanced Edition, the source port that we've been working on from the Mac code that we found about a year ago. Yeah, originally a couple days ago, I wasn't even planning to release that, but we've had some really good progress on it, and we decided to just throw it in the beta branch on Steam and let everybody who backed us on Kickstarter, who has a copy of the game, check it out and give us some good feedback. So yeah, I've had a little bit of time to play it. I was actually thinking of just playing that today instead of doing something creative. But yeah, it looks really great. It's got OpenGL support. It's got Direct3D support. It looks really good. It sounds great. We're using the high-res assets from the Mac version, so if you're used to the DOS version, there's gonna be some new things in there that you probably haven't seen before, which is really exciting when you know, considering it's such an old game. There's still a couple little bugs, a little quirky things going on. I noticed, and some of these have been reported. If you guys are in our Discord channel, let's see, I created a channel today for it called the System Shock Source Port channel, and I moved the source code chat in there. There's a general channel of feedback and requests, and a bug reporting area, and there's already been a bunch of stuff in there. We kind of knew, you know, this being beta and not having any updated art assets, that there was going to be some things that we wanted to fix. Probably the most frustrating thing I've noticed so far is that when you hit E and you go into like the mouse look mode, if you go to pick up an item and it's on the corner of the screen, your character will kind of like hop over in that direction while you're trying to pick things up. So we'll get a fix in for that really quick, and some of the other bugs that you guys and gals have been reporting right off the bat. Let me see if... Okay, yeah, here we go. I just wanted to have the chat up on Twitch so I could get more of a... could see more of these questions that might be appearing. Yeah, not sure. I can see it now. It's starting to show up on the stream, but it wasn't before. Oh yeah, the binding. There's some issues with the binding of the keys. But yeah, this is really good. I'm glad that everybody's getting to check it out. The ultimate plan for this is to have it replace the enhanced edition that's currently available on Steam and GOG. But there has been a couple of requests to save the DOS version that we currently have on there. It used to be called System Shock Portable. That's what became System Shock Enhanced Edition. So we might actually branch that off again, and it'll be System Shock Enhanced Edition, System Shock Portable, and maybe System Shock Classic, like all in the same package. So we'll kind of figure that out as we go and see if it's worth saving. It's kind of a cool little reminder, I guess, of the history of the game and how far it's come over the last couple of years in terms of just being more accessible and playable. And yeah, Kamio wants me to save it portable for the sake of archiving. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll do something. We'll probably make a new trailer for the new version of the game, which will be fun. Yeah, let me see what else. What else has been going on? There was some really great stuff in the update. A lot of GIFs that were kind of showing some of the interactables working, how the puzzles were going to be hidden, how you would access those, the ability to change some of the colors on the design side of the levels. That will help us create a lot of variation with some of the assets that we've made. Yeah, there's a lot of System Shock. I actually just got a couple of quotes for doing a re-release of the big box, the original big box of System Shock 1. We were thinking of having Rob Waters do new cover art, including some new like physical goods in there as well. The way that we want to do it, the price is actually probably going to be pretty high just for manufacturing, especially if we want to do like a limited release. And we were thinking, you know, we're collectors, we want to create something that, you know, we're not going to make 50,000 copies. We maybe only do like 1,000. So that's something that we're working on, and of course it would probably contain the source code and everything for what we're doing after we have a final release candidate. Oh yeah, GamePig is in development. I'm almost thinking that we should probably have like a naming contest for it, because it wasn't GamePig in System Shock 1. I forget what it was called actually. It doesn't have nearly as cool of a name. GamePig was System Shock 2. So yeah, a couple of the names that we came up with. Let's see. I want to call it Game Slave as a reference to Invader Zim. I think that would be really cool because Gaz, who's Dib's little sister, is like obsessed with Game Slave, and I think that there's a game where you hunt vampire pigs, so it kind of you know, kind of mixes, kind of goes together. The other idea, I think Jonathan came up with this. He wanted to call this one Game Piglet, because it would be like the precursor to the Game Pig, which is kind of a cute idea. Let's see. New beta crashed on you. Yep. Sorry, it's a beta. Did you get any warning messages? Did you get any pop-ups or anything like that? Game Hog. Like, yeah, again, another Invader Zim reference would be like Bloaty's Pizza Hog. It's the like Chuck E. Cheese equivalent, but in Invader Zim's universe. Yeah, we are. There's going to be an original game that that has never been playable before. That's going to be in our game pig, along with a lot of the other kind of classics that were in the original. I didn't even know this. There's still, again, like I think this is like the third or fourth stream in a row where I'm like, I didn't know this about System Shock. There's new things that are constantly coming to light. There's like a full-on like RPG roguelike that you can play in the game pig in System Shock 2. It's like a very super early. It almost looks like the first Ultima. It's very, very simple looking, but it's like a full game. And you can check that out on YouTube. Somebody's got a recording of that. Yeah, Food Cordia. I love that show. Yeah, what else is going on? Outside of the game stuff, I am building a chicken coop tomorrow. We decided to get chickens, and they're almost big enough to go in a coop, so we gotta build one in the backyard. So that'll be fun. What are your plans this weekend? What's everybody doing? Anyone doing anything really fun? So Darth Jam, you're saying chickens are a lot of work? Built a coop from pallets. Oh yeah. So my wife actually designed a chicken coop in Autodesk SketchUp. So she 3D modeled it so that it would fit exactly in this space that we have in the backyard. And then she parsed all the parts and the wood and the brackets and everything that we needed, and went off to Home Depot today to get everything ready to go. But so far the chickens really haven't been that much work. They've just been living in this cardboard box with a light and some water and some food, and they're pretty happy. We've been taking them out into the garden like once a day, and they kind of run around, get in some trouble, and then we bring them back. But they're almost big enough to be outside. Ooh, alright, I mean, let's get some stuff started here. Let's see. So, the last thing that I had to do was create the low polygonal eyes. So let me bring up Maya. I think I can get it over here. I remember this being kind of tricky. I had to add the UV editor to Streamlabs just to be able to see that. Do I know Lisp? No, I don't. Oh yeah, watch out for wild animals. Yeah, we've got raccoons and possums in our neighborhood, so we have to use a special kind of chicken wire. So let me move over to this other window here. Awesome. All right. Okay. There we go. So yeah, Maya is really weird with Streamlabs. So I'll probably just try to get this done as quick as I can. But basically, we want to add this eye to our UV map. So let me see if I can add this source. You want to bring a chicken in? Okay. Alright, done. Alright, yeah. Alright, cool. So we'll put our UV window up here. That works. Oh, we're bringing a chicken in, so one sec. Hey, Cairo. What's the good one? Hey, chicken! Chicken stream! Check it out, Mabel. What's that? We have all kinds of fun guests on the stream, don't we? Okay. Ooh! Oh shit! All right. Mabel, it's okay. Ah! Okay, one sec. I'll be right back. Oh boy, okay. Oh, Cairo. You want to say hi now too? Hey, up here, look. Can you sit? The chicken's gone. Can you sit? Cairo. Alright, it's a fucking zoo in here. Ooh. Cairo, get out of my garbage. Go. Alright. Let's go back to this. Woo! So yeah, the chickens are really fun. We've got 3. They are named, and I'll see if you guys and girls can if you can figure out what the references are, but one is named Mabel, one's named Leela, and the other one is regular sized Rudy. Cameo Cairo is a he is half German Shepherd, half Alaskan Malamute. So let's project some UVs on this, on these eyes. Let's see. We can do a planar map. Pretty much it. Got the eye, and it's gonna be like a lens anyway, so we don't really have to worry about 0 to 1 space on this. It's just gonna have like a shader on it. So what I will do is now I'm gonna duplicate it, so we've put the pivot point here in the middle, and now we can run this command. It's called duplicate with special, or duplicate with special options, which will, the way I have it set up is it'll mirror that object on the x-axis. So if I just click that, it'll just, oops, I have the whole thing selected. I just need the eye selected. And actually we'll move the pivot point down. I think it's DC. We can snap it to the grid, or maybe it's DV. Oh. Okay. DZ? Oh, nope, it's DX. So if you hold down D and X, you can move the gimbal and snap it to the grid. Alright, so now we'll hit duplicate special. And now we got both eyes in there. So we'll select these eyes. Their UVs are out of 0 to 1 space, which is good for now, so that when we select the whole mesh, we can find a spot to put these. So we'll throw it right here. These eyes are kind of big. We'll make the space a little bit smaller. And right now there are 2 eyes, and because I got them both selected, and because I unwrapped one before mirroring the other one, they're both kind of right on top of each other. So if I select one of these UVs and right click and go to shell, it'll select that UV shell. Now if I move it, okay. Well, I'm wrong about that. I think I have to combine them first. Or at least have them both selected. Let me combine just to make sure. Combine them so that when you duplicate with special, I've got this option turned on that'll create an instance, and that means if I change something on the first one, it'll duplicate those changes to the second one, which is why I wasn't able to separate the UVs there. So now this should be fine. We'll select one UV to shell, and then we'll move it. Yeah, now we've got our separate, our pair there. And the eyes are going to be pretty big, so let's just make them a little bit bigger. We'll just have them fill up this space. Like that. Cool, so I think that's it. We baked this guy last week in Marmoset, which turned out pretty good. I think what we'll do now is we'll try something new, and we'll try to bake him in Substance Painter. So let's save this. He's completely retopologized, ready for baking. He's sitting at like 6.7K polys, which is really good. But yeah, we'll bring him into Substance. Let me just name some of these things and delete history before saving them out. Windows. Alright. Get rid of these group nodes in the outliner. I don't think you guys can see that, but that's okay. Delete that. Alright, so we got our 3 objects in here. Let's save and let's export. I think I can export this as an FBX. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we'll make a new folder just to keep everything nice and neat. We'll call it FBX, and we'll just call this humanoid underscore mutant low. Alright, export that guy. Alright, so I've got Substance Painter already open. Let me just move it over to this other monitor, and then I just have to add the source really quick to Streamlabs. So 1 sec. Call this Substance. Add the new source. Alright, there we go. And I will move this. Let's see. Get this fitted. Yeah, I apologize for not having this kind of ready ahead of time. It has been a very busy week. Alright, so just fair warning, I've only used Substance a couple of times. We'll see how this goes. Oh yeah, let me check chat here. So Leela is, yep, from Futurama, Darth Jam X, you're right. Mabel and long name, I got no clue. Mabel is from Gravity Falls, and regular size Rudy is from Bob's Burgers. So, alright. Again, this is really interesting. If you look at the stream, I'm over the file menu, and it doesn't show up in here for whatever reason. So, yeah. So I've got some dialogues that are popping up right here that you can't see. So I'll try to make this quick. We're gonna use the Unreal Engine 4 template. Import mesh normal maps and bake maps, blah blah blah, no mesh selected. I'm gonna just go in here and select all of our meshes that we need. Our assets, characters, humanoid mutant. FBX, here's our low mutant. Mesh normal maps and bake maps, and then I think I can add more, let me see. OBJ, mutant high, teeth high. Okay, you know what? This isn't going to work the way I was thinking it would. So let's just try this. Vertex. Cancel. We'll just hit OK. I think we have to do the baking in a different window here. Alright, well, this is good. The normals are looking okay. Nothing freaky happening yet. Let's see. This whole thing's kind of jammed onto my other monitor here. I think I just have to import resources here, and now it'll give us the opportunity to bake after that. So let's see. We need the teeth, and we need the mutant, and we'll open those up. Another little warning that I got earlier, was that the specific video card that I'm using, it's a Titan X Apparently it's got some kind of problem with Substance. It has what they call a TDR issue, which is like, I guess, a GPU hang recovery delay, and it's low, which can cause the program to crash. So this didn't like what I just tried to import here. Okay. So again, I'm gonna apologize. The windows aren't showing up here. Use low poly mesh. Okay, now I can add my high poly meshes. I don't know why it's having such a big problem before. I suppose that we could bake the eyes too. I don't really need a normal map, but we'll just see. We're not going to use a cage file. We're going to leave everything as is, and just to see how this works out. But we'll bake all this stuff. Ambient occlusion, normal map, the common parameters. I'm gonna put this down to 1024 as a test. So let's just see what happens. So this is the best part of the stream, where I get to sit here and just look at the computer do its its computations. Hopefully we didn't just crash it. Let me see. What are you guys saying? Oh, you can't show the overlay menus because window capture. Yeah, I wonder if they'll be able to find a way to fix that. So I'm just gonna let this sit here for a while. See what happens. Probably also doesn't help that I'm streaming during all this. Yeah, he does. He does look like he's made out of the white part of candy corn. I'm one of those weirdos that really likes candy corn. I know that's kind of a contentious topic around Halloween, but I'm a big fan. My PC specs. Let me tell you. Oh, so the Substance is working. It does look like it is baking. Let's see. I have an i7 3930. It's running at 3.2 gigs. It's probably about 4 years old now. 32 gigs of RAM. The Titan GTX, which was actually sent to me by NVIDIA last year, which was really nice of them. I had two 980 in SLI, but that was kind of overkill. So yeah, this looks weird. Let me see if I can figure out what happened here. It doesn't look like a normal map actually got baked for whatever reason. There's a world space map, so there's a curvature map, but I don't know why. Why it would look like this. Yeah, it didn't bake a normal, which I'm guessing. Use low poly mesh. I must be missing something. Let's see. I'm gonna turn down the detail here just so that we can do some more tests, but I'm gonna turn off the thickness map, position. We're gonna need that eventually. World space. We don't need a world space normal map, so let me. And I'm gonna turn up the max frontal distance for the rays too, just to see if maybe it's just not going far enough, because it doesn't look like it. Let's just see what happens. It's going a lot quicker this time. Okay, yeah, so it's failing. It's not seeing this model, and I'm wondering if I have to change something really quick. I know this is going to be really simple too. It's going to be like, oh yeah, the high definition meshes. How many models or how many enemies are modeled? It's just the humanoid mutant and the virus mutant right now. There's gonna be like a whole thing that we have to do with the enemies that have like mechanized bits, like the cyborgs. So we're kind of saving that for the end. It's mostly gonna be environment modeling from here on out. Use low poly mesh. See, that doesn't make any sense. I'm very confused here. There is a possibility that Substance Painter doesn't like FBX, and so let me just re-export this as a OBJ here. And we're gonna call this humanoid mutant complete low. And we'll export. Go back into Substance. We'll select the mesh here. Okay. Alright, we got our candy corn mutant back. Let's go to Bake Textures. We'll load in our high poly one more time. Teeth, mutant, eyes. Open that up. Alright, we'll switch this to 512. I'm just gonna hit bake. We'll see what happens. I feel like I'm missing some critical step here that just has to do with my inexperience. Oh, see, it worked now. Great. Okay. All right. Sweet. So this is actually a 512. There's quite a bit of detail in there for it only being a 512. It's pretty gross. So let's make this again, but we'll turn up the detail. What we'll probably end up doing for the game, since it's using that kind of a low poly aesthetic, is we'll bake the textures and we'll do everything at a higher resolution, and then we'll just turn it down. I know there's some trick that Chris is using to get it to look that way, so you'll have to ask him during his next stream, which hopefully will be pretty soon. But yeah, let me up the resolution. We'll turn off world space normal. We don't need that. But let's just do double. We'll do 1024 by 1024. Yeah, so I guess that the fact that I imported an FBX, it really didn't like that. I honestly don't know why I saved it out that way. But OBJ is pretty much the standard when it comes to this stuff. So we will bake this out a little bit higher, and then I'm gonna kind of experiment with Substance. I'm gonna create some layers. I'm gonna use some smart materials and just see if we can get something really cool that we can export and just put in Unreal and just kind of see what it looks like. Get this out of here. Yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys too, just real quick. I got invited to do an article for PC Gamer back in 2015. Show us your rig article. So I'll post this in chat, and it's got like, I mean, it's kind of old, but it's got my computer and all the specs and a bunch of other stuff, like when my room used to be clean, when my collection wasn't as big. It's just it's kind of a fun reminder of where the or I guess how the computer used to be. All right, so yeah, the Mutant 1024 by 1024, it looks a lot better. It's kind of grainy around here, just because there's a lot of detail. But honestly, it's not that bad. It's looking pretty gross. Feet are looking good. All right, so yeah, let's start messing around. Thank you for following us, by the way. I'm getting the notifications. It's nice. Go to my shelf. I think if I go to Smart Materials, this is kind of where we're going to want to get started here. These smart materials and Substance are really cool. It's essentially kind of the same way that you would create a material in Unreal or like Maya or 3ds Max, where it's got a bunch of different things all working together. But this is the first time, at least to my knowledge, where a texturing program has something like a shader network kind of built in where it's got these preset materials, and depending on the thing that you're making, you can pretty much just drag and drop these smart materials onto different parts of your model to get the base material looking correctly, which is really important. We're using, and I guess the industry standard right now is what's called PBR materials, which is a physics-based rendering model. And essentially what that means is we have the ability to create higher fidelity materials that react accordingly to like photon-based lighting in engines and real-world effects and this type of thing, and it just makes it look that much better. So let me see if I can find a good base material for him. Just as an example, we could throw on like, there's like a red aluminum. Let's just see what that looks like just for fun. Oh yeah. So our mutant is made out of candy wrapper. But this is very, very useful for an artist who wants to just like mimic real world things very quickly without having to do a lot of work. What's really cool about these materials too is you can break them down into their various properties, and you can change a lot of different things about them, like how shiny it is, or how rough it appears, or the color. There's a lot of different properties that you can kind of change, which is cool. So I'm going to delete that smart material. We don't want him to look like an aluminum monster. There's like a human skin we can probably start with. There's leather, latex, machinery. What's really cool about Substance, and I know I'm just going to keep saying this, is when we bake inside this program, it also creates a bunch of other maps, which are very important for like creating some dynamic effects. So there's a map in here in particular called the curvature map and the position map, and some of the filters and some of the masking things that you can do in this program will utilize those maps. It'll detect the edges, it'll detect some of these things, yeah, just create some really cool effects. So like, for instance, if I take this machinery material and put it on him, I think it should, yeah, it'll kind of take a look at his cavities. So right now he's like the Tonka truck mutant. It's basically like a painted metal with some rust showing underneath. And you can see how the light behaves differently on those areas. Really cool stuff. Again, there'd be a lot more resolution. It'd be a lot easier to see some of the stuff if we were doing this at a higher res, but yeah, it's just really cool. So this would be a great first thing to do if you were building like a caterpillar model, you know, something a caterpillar being or like Bobcat, heavy machinery. Alright, let's just delete that. Alright, let's just try, let's put the human skin on there first. There's a feverish skin, so let's see what that looks like. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Nice. I want to say that, let's see. clear a mask. Let me see here. Add a fill layer. So we'll make a folder. We'll call it skin. Put that in here. There should be a masking tool here. We can add let's see. So there's no ID mask. Essentially what an ID mask is you assign colors to your model, just like very simple colors like red, blue, green, and you have each of those colors over specific objects in your UV map. And when you're creating a mask or you're doing something in Substance, you can quickly select those colors and it'll create like auto masks that'll allow you to work on specific areas quickly without having to do it by hand. I'm wondering if I should create one really quick just to make this really easy, but let me see if I can just paint. So I'm gonna add a white mask to the skin, and let me see what happens if I paint. Okay, yeah, so you can see that if I paint the mask it won't affect that. But I just want to select the eye. I don't want it to get anything around it. Let me see if there's a way to do that. I think if I can go into like a UV mode. Let me see. Projection, substance, blah blah blah. Send to Photoshop. We don't want to do that. Okay, so here's the 2D. And I think I can just paint the eye. There we go. And we're also going to want to mask out the teeth, probably. Which is I think right here. Let's just see how this looks. Okay, that's not what I wanted. So, yeah, we won't do that. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna add another material here and see if we can get that, like that shiny lens look for his eyes. So I wonder if this will work. Steel scratches. This could work. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll be kind of cool. So we'll put this underneath. Oops. And then yeah. So to get in here, I'm actually gonna just use my my pen, so I might go out of the frame here for a second. I'm gonna turn this off. So I'm not sure why just doing the UVs didn't really work out for me. I have a feeling it's because when this thing baked, the UVs picked up some of the other materials, or it picked up some of the other model mesh around the eyes. So I'm just gonna have to do this by hand, which isn't that big of a deal. I'll get this in here. So that's pretty gross. It's looking good though. So I'll just do this eye really quick, and then I'm gonna mess around a little bit with the skin material and see if we can get it looking like paler and just more disgusting. Though it's already looking pretty gross. I'm just gonna experiment a little bit here too. Give him some chrome teeth and just the back of his mouth there. I'm gonna switch back to 2D. Alright. Yeah, how cool is this? This actually looks like he's like been filleted. So I think if I just paint around this area here, I could probably just get his teeth. Yeah, heck, cool. Because the inside of his mouth should still be skin. And again, because this is kind of low detail, it's hard to see. I mean, it might actually be worth it to rebake this at a higher level, just so that we have better control over this type of stuff. Well, alright, that's good enough. Let's see if we can play around with his skin a little bit. Alright, so there's a patches. If we hide that, didn't really seem to do anything. kind of darkened his skin. If we take spots out, what does that do? Kind of adds like another texture. Skin details. So if we just hide some of those layers, it kind of makes him a little creepier, a little gooier. Skin dark. Okay, so that adds in that like cavity color there. So if we let's see, can make this a little bit darker. Ooh. It's kind of gross. I think that we're gonna try to. It should be dark, but it should be a little more subtle. Like something around here. Or we can just change the base color of the skin as well.
Why do I
feel like you should be kind of like
pick people who treat us like we're nothing?
Kind of pale.
We accept the love we think we deserve.
Then why didn't you ever ask me out?
Go back into here and
I just didn't think that you wanted that.
Well, what did you want?
Oh, I just want you to be happy.
Kinds of things that we can change here. There's got to be some more settings.
Charlie, I can't feel that. It's really sweet and everything, but you can't just sit there and put everybody's lives ahead of yours and think that counts as love. I don't want to be somebody's crush. I want people to like the real me.
All right, that's kind of cool. This is what the spots does. So it kind of adds in that texture on top. You see if there's what we can do. Let's see. There's a random. We can kind of randomize where that stuff is going to show up. I think it's just supposed to give the skin some variation when it's more subtle. Let's see. So that's really gross. Disorder. Ooh, that's cool. So yeah, as long as his skin looks really like patchy, wet, gross. There should be a bone thing here. Let's just give him some teeth really quick. Let's see, bone stylized. And we'll add a map or a mask here. We should be able to add a white mask. And if we that So, yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some more time in this program, but it's really powerful. Let's remove this. The skin, let's see. There's a mask going through there. I feel like if we add a white mask here. There we go. Alright. So then we just mask out so that the chrome doesn't go through, and now he's got smoker's teeth. He's looking pretty gnarly. We can change some of the environment maps as well, which is kind of cool. So here he is in like a cave setting. There's some factory settings. Let's see. If we do this, that's not so great. How about at night? Over the clouds. Alright, let's just give us something that's easy to work with. What does this look like? Let's go back to where we were. Oh. Makes it easy to see things. Alright, so bone stylized. We could make his teeth a little bit brighter. I don't think they'd be that yellow. That's pretty good. Let's keep messing with his skin. Let's see. The spots layer here is made up of a bunch of things. Histogram position. Ooh. Yeah, we can add these, make these spots a little bit less subtle. I mean,
your birds will come back. Of course they'll come back. They're birds.
we don't want to overdo it.
I understand that.
Let's see.
People I don't understand. You see, Arnold?
And then there's a roughness here. So if we turn that up, it'll make them a little glossier. And that was the histogram position of the Dirt 5 mask there. You can see it. I'll leave it about like that. I kind of want to keep messing around with the patches here. Material mode. Probably leave this at about 50. Alright, so I'm gonna see if we can like, I feel like there should be like a blood material. Chris might have one, but what I would do is probably just splatter it across all the different materials. Brush their teeth, yeah. Let me see if I can just create a new layer here. Edit layer, add a layer. This will be in. We'll set this to maybe multiply, and I will get like a blood red. if I can just kind of... Again, I don't have these. These brushes are all different to me. Now let's just see what happens if I... you know what? I'm just gonna... Let's just do this. And let's just lower the opacity. I gotta find better brushes here. And it doesn't look like this thing is using pressure sensitivity. Let's see, no pressure. Yeah, okay. Pen, we'll set that to pen pressure. And we'll see what it's like. Let's turn this back up so we can see more. Oh yeah. So there's a little bit of pen pressure there. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Good. Whew, thought we were crashing there. Alright.
I don't love you.
Yeah, these brushes are just weird. I'm gonna have to kind of go in here and create some custom brushes that'll make it easier for painting. Just in the interim here, this is kind of fun. We'll switch back over to this brush. Let's see if we can kind of get some red in the teeth here. The flow is just up too high. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
I would have loved you forever.
So this is a good test, just to see what kind of things are capable with substance. And I don't want them to be too crazy. I'll just knock some of this stuff back a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I think ideally I'd probably want to go in and redden up some of these areas. looks really cool. So I'm gonna have to go over this whole guy pretty much with a little bit of red and probably some greens and happy little trees. Really make them pop. Really make them look like his whole body is just like weeping. I gotta set up some hotkeys in this thing too so I can... Yeah, actually, you know what? How'd my hair get like this? Move this a little bit. Oh yeah, Trekkie26. Yeah, the particle brushes are really cool. Actually, let's try that. Yep, I was kind of alluding to that a little bit earlier, where with the masks and stuff that, or I'm sorry, the maps that we baked, that there's a lot of that stuff that you can do. So let me see if I can figure some of that out. I am going to save this really quick. Substance. All right, yeah. Let me see if we can do some of the particle brush stuff, because that's really cool. So let's switch to particles. Let's try. There's one called veins. Veins, small veins. Ooh. I know this isn't what I'm looking for, but that's pretty cool. Organic. What does this do? Oh, it's kind of like the same stuff. Maybe it's smart masks. Mask generator and filters. Okay, let's see. Filters. Matte effects, detail, edgeware. You know, we might be able to do rust. And then change some of the parameters. Oh, it looks like it only affected his eyes. That's weird. Okay, so it only affected the metallic, which makes sense. Edge damages. Let's see if this will do something cool. Ooh. That's pretty disgusting too. It added in some normal map detail to make it look like his skin's all messed up. So let's go in there. damage roughness. Damage depth. Ooh, yeah, that's too much. Randomize it too. Ooh, nice. So, yeah, it almost looks like he's been gnawed on by some of the other mutants. They've bitten him and taken little chunks out of him. Let's see, we could try some more stuff. Yeah, the mask generators. We'll delete this one. Just kind of leave that that damages thing on for now. It's pretty cool. Might be a little much. Let's see. I feel like the particles are really cool, but laser impacts. Is that Luna Sanguine? Is that how you pronounce that? Thank you for the follow. Let's see, more smart materials maybe. Hull damage. Yeah, there is a way to kind of like do all this stuff at once, or to add like more weirdness to this, but it actually might be kind of fun to paint it into. So I'm going to create another map, and let's just go to brushes, and let's go to this dirt brush and see what this does, and we'll change the color to like see this, and we'll change the blending mode to like an overlay, and let's just see what happens. Ooh, yeah, so that's kind of cool. It's very subtle, but you can see there's just the slightest hints of like green. Hey, thank you for the bits, Iron Dendrite. That's very kind of you. Thank you. So you can add some more of this stuff. You can always kind of overdo it a little bit, and then we can experiment with some blending modes. Like, what if we did linear dodge or multiply? Just switch it back to overlay, and then maybe just turn the opacity down a little bit. Yeah, so it's there and it's really subtle. You can see if I turn off the layer, just adding that some of that blue green in there kind of makes it a little gross, a little more disgusting. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like the way the damage effects adds in like these little chunks missing from him to make him more ghoulish, or do you like it where he's like kind of smooth, like he's just been like birthed? Hey Trekkie, thank you for the subscription. That looks moldy. So I'm gonna try some more of these brushes. What's really cool about this too is once this is done, and like if, you know, obviously I'm just kind of messing around, I'm not just experimenting, but if we find something that we really like and I change some of these material properties around to where we've got something that looks really good, we can save it and then use it on the other skin bits of the other mutants. So that it all looks very similar. Let's revisit his face a little bit here. So in an instance where it's kind of dark here, I think we can believe we can either turn up the lighting a little bit, or we can rotate it so we can see what we're doing on this side. opacity too, which is nice. If it starts to get a little too much, you can kind of pull it back a little bit. It's looking pretty good so far. I'm gonna have to look into doing some shaders in Unreal because again, one of the maps that got baked out was a thickness map, and that kind of tells the renderer how thick this, like, the polygonal mesh is, and so we can get some really cool subsurface scattering, which is basically what happens when you shine light through skin. I don't think a really good way of showing that right now, but let me see, do I have a flashlight over here? Not really. But it's like when you hold your hand up to a light and the light shines through, you can kind of see it's it's thinner in some places and it kind of glows and it's got that nice kind of look to it. Well, you can do that in using shaders in Unreal and the thickness map. So this guy's perfect for that since he's basically nothing but skin in various thicknesses. So depending on the light that he's in, he'll have that kind of gross look. Yeah. Cried tears of green goo. I'm gonna play around a little bit more. Looks like I accidentally pulled this out. I'm gonna hide that. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this. It's a little bit much, so I could probably pull it back in some areas. But I'll ask the guys what they think about this. But let's try some other things. Liquid stream, burn. What does this do? Let me make a new layer. Let's see. Ooh, that's cool. So I'm like basically just drawing a line on here, and the computer is again taking a look at all these maps, and it's using particles to paint, which is really neat. It almost looks like I gave him a lobster tattoo. Not what I want, but so this is a burn particle brush. So I guess if there was like a fire here and you had the right colors, of course, you could make it look like he got burnt, which is fun. Let's try some other ones. Leaks might be kind of fun. Let's see if we can do leaks and pick some better colors and maybe a interesting blending mode. Like let's do multiply, and we'll pick maybe let's do red. Fuck it. And we'll see if we can get something that looks neat. Not really what we're looking for there. Seems like there's gotta be some settings. That we can choose for this. This log. Physics. Oh yeah, so we can change some things. It's a paint emitter, Let's see what happens if we turn this up. Okay, so there's a lot less. There's fewer particles. Spawn factor. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff that we can check out. Spread, turbulence, all kinds of particle settings. This might be actually kind of cool if we wanted to, like, put it in his mouth and then have it. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Make it look like he's just been chomping on something. There you have it. Running down his face. And then we can. And we'll just. That's neat. Let's just play with this for a second. This is really weird. The blending mode window is actually on my other monitor. So it's a little difficult to screw with it. Overlay is not what we want. In Photoshop you can kind of just go through these, but this isn't as easy here. Do soft light, it's always a good one. And then we can switch the brush to like a grunge on our eraser. Since the blood wouldn't be going up his head, and probably wouldn't go over the crest of his eye socket there. There you go. Just kind of take some of the harshness off these edges. So that was a quick way to get something really nasty looking there. Yeah, let's just keep that for now. Why not? Let's see what else we got in here. This is kind of fun. I'm glad that we have a model that we can just paint on and just kind of discover things with. This is really cool. Let's just see what puddle does just for fun. Kind of just throw it on him. Oh boy. What did that do? You see all the particles just going nuts, but I'm not sure if they're actually doing anything. We might want to create a new layer here. Let's see. Just holding it down. It's doing something. You can see it like dripping down and running off of his face. What's it doing though? It doesn't look like it's doing anything. No material. Oh! I had the eraser selected that whole time. Okay, hold on. Alright, now what's it gonna do? Oh, I can see it. it's kind of like accumulating in some areas, which is kind of what we were looking for before when we started hand painting. Weird. Like there's droplets on them, like it's been raining. Let's switch that to screen as well. It's a good way to get color variation, that's for sure. Not what we're really looking for. Alright, let's try a couple more things. Rain might be good. Let's we'll keep it that red color and we'll see if it. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, that is cool. Okay, Alex, you have to come and see this. You mind being on stream just for a second? Check out this particle brush. Here, you have to come here. Well, okay, fine. Look, can you see it? See that? Watch what happens when I do this. Yeah, but look at what the particles are doing. Yeah, and they're leaving this red. Isn't that awesome? That's so cool. This is really cool. Look at the way it's like dripped down the eyes and it's left those streaks. It looks like, I mean, this is kind of a mess. This would have to be cleaned up, but it does look like it's been raining blood. Of course, with like a little more, you know, put soft light on there, and then we kind of turn this down, and it'll just, oh, this looks great. I mean, again, I'd probably want to take the eraser here, you know, just kind of clean this up so it wasn't so weren't so many hard lines. Wow. This is fun. You can actually get Substance Designer on Steam too. That's how I'm using it. In case anybody was wondering, I bought a copy on there. Neat. So he's looking pretty disgusting. I'm gonna make another layer. Let's just keep messing with this. I'm trying to think too. There's probably so right now, like, these colors are kind of blending with his skin, and so they don't really have any kind of material property of their own, because if this was like really blood, it would kind of stand out a little bit. Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's look at some other particles here. And it looks like you can create your own. There is another program that goes with this, kind of. It's called Substance Designer. And it allows you to basically use nodes to create highly customizable materials that you then import. You can import into Substance Painter. So if you have like a technical artist and you've got some very specific needs for your project, you can create stuff that you need in there, as opposed to trying to do it in here, which this is more about application as opposed to creating those materials. Let's do laser impacts just for fun. See what happens. We'll go on his back here. That's auto-saving here for me. I'm not sure what this is supposed to do. It looks like it's played painting on there, but it doesn't look like it's using particles. Could do this, just kind of create some like random veins and things, and again change the blending mode. Let's do like multiply. Create some more, just throw it in there. Just lower the opacity again just a little bit, just to kind of make it not pop so much. Yeah, he's looking pretty revolting, which I guess is what we're going for. We really haven't kind of touched his hands or his legs or anything like that yet, but this is just way too much fun. I can definitely see how it would be easy to overdo it though. I've already gone kind of ham on this. Let's make another layer. Let's try fracture. See what this does. I mean, this looks like it's probably meant for like organic stuff, or I'm sorry, inorganic stuff, but that's really cool. You could almost see something like this if you were to use the same kind of material and create an alpha, like you can see right here, but you did it using like runes or like demonic symbology, like that type of thing. You could have some really cool demons or like scars being put on the skin like that procedurally. Be kind of neat. Let's try broken glass. Cool. Oh, leaks heavy is nice. So if he was like bleeding from the armpit, it would all just kind of leak down. Uh-oh. Oh, I must not have clicked on him. There we go. Man, that is really cool. It'll just follow the contours of the mesh. Neat. Let's do a little bit right here. I feel like he needs a little bit there, yeah. If you thought about it, if he was like chewing on somebody, the blood would run down his mouth, down his chin, and it would probably just kind of drip off down here. We can also throw some blood up in here. Well, well, well. This is pretty neat. Hey there, boss man. Bit is working pretty smooth. Ah, Tinfoil Fox, yes. Thank you for your quick and immediate feedback. It was very helpful. Trekkie26. One cool thing to try is using the veins brush to paint into the height info. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, that's one thing I pretty much totally neglected. One of the biggest strengths of this program is being able to not only paint on one layer, but you can paint on a number of different layers across your material property at the same time, if that makes sense. So this character is made up of a number of different maps. There is a color map, also known as an albedo map when you're talking about PBR. There's a height map sometimes, a roughness map, a metallic map. Roughness and metallic are used in conjunction with one another to create the surface texture of a material, which gives it its main property, and also the normal map. And what you can do in Substance is you can actually go between the layers. So I've got the height selected now. If I create a new layer and I paint the veins, it should actually just create some really cool bumpy detail. Okay, it didn't do that. I think if I go to height and I turn it to white here, it's also gonna have this red color attached to it. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, cool. That's really neat. So that's a little too much. Let's move the height down. We'll make it like this. Oh, okay, so now it's carving in. You can see that instead of popping out. I think black just won't do anything.
We only serve paying customers, so you'll have to order more than water.
Oh, that's really neat. So you could, yeah, you could do some really cool stuff with this. And so traditionally, if you were trying to do this in Photoshop, you would have to be, you'd have to be doing a lot of different things across a lot of different maps to get that look. But this, it just makes it totally interactive, which is really fun. Gives you the what's called WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get, which is very, very helpful for this, because obviously there's the quickest that you can get the results you want with this, the better. Creating art like this is really expensive for a game industry or for a game studio, so being able to do this is just, it's a huge time saver. I think I had to, I'm like, really? I'm kind of confused now. I thought that I had, well, I guess, there it is, it's popping out now. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely going to take some experimenting with. I'll probably play with this week. This, you know what's funny is what I just created right here. That looks like, if we lower the opacity just a little bit, that looks like the markings on Drax from Guardian of the Galaxies, kind of. So, hey, Trekkie26, thank you for those suggestions. I totally remember after watching so many videos of people using Substance that you could do stuff like this, but I just totally forgot. So thanks for mentioning that stuff. So yeah, I don't even think you need to switch through this in order to get this effect. I think you just need to change some of the properties here. Like if I turn the roughness up all the way, it's really flat. You can see that it's there, but there's no specularity. And if we turn roughness up all the way, it should be really glossy. Yeah. So it looks really wet. It's really neat. So let's do this. We'll turn the roughness up and then we'll switch the height so it's like digging into his skin. And it should kind of look like scars almost, or like just deep wounds. Yeah. Like the skin's exposed underneath. Ooh. Ooh. Pretty gross. So, we've been here for 2 hours, or I've been here for 2 hours with you. I'm gonna call it a night on this stuff. I'm going to work on this weekend and get this wrapped up. Finish the texture, and then yeah, I think we'll save next week for getting him an engine. I'll work with Chris and the guys on getting a skin shader going in there, or maybe I can figure that out with some subsurface scattering, and we'll put him in the engine and we'll put some lights on him and stuff, and yeah, we'll basically go through the entire process from start to finish. I know that Chris is really good at rigging and animating, and I want to say we've got some rigs for this guy already, so maybe we can even get him in and just kind of moving or breathing or looking disgusting. Yeah, Cameo, you're welcome. I'm glad that you were able to win that copy last week. I'm not sure. I've never done a raffle through here because Carly's always done it for me, but let me see if I can figure that out, and then we can give out another copy or two. How do I do this? No, that's not it. Settings. Ooh, mod tools. Followers only, mod icons, blah blah blah. Manage moderation settings. It's probably not it. Waffle. Since Chris can't get into that without delay production. No, we're working on that right now. He's been able to work. It's just that, yeah, his landlord is being kind of stingy with, I guess, the Wi-Fi that they all have to share. I don't really know what the situation is, but yeah, he'll have some really cool stuff to share this upcoming week. He should be streaming, I believe. Yeah, he's actually not scheduled for the rest of this month, but I'll see if I can get him on here. Give me one more moment here and see if I can see if I can figure this out. Let me see here. Do I have to do this raffle? Okay, so I just added myself to a raffle. I think I have to use this Moobot thing. Report Moobot. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. All right. I figured out how to do it. Trusty search. Yeah, let's we'll raffle off a copy of System Shock Enhanced Edition. Since we just did the source port beta today, hopefully somebody who doesn't have it. Okay, so enter with exclamation point raffle, right, starting right now. And we'll let that go for a minute. And yeah, if you already have a copy of it and you win, give it to a friend. Be great. Hey, Sean. Yeah, GTG. Enter one more time. No, I'm not going to take anybody out. If you win, give it to a friend. Or if there's somebody in the stream that doesn't have it, you know, give it to them. And I will get the key. Alright, anyone else want to enter the raffle? Alright, let's draw. Hey, Darth Jam X wins. Congratulations. Pretty sure, I'm guessing you already have a key, so if not, feel free to give it to somebody else. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I am in the wrong panel here. How many times have you won? Looks like you won another key. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know it was kind of quiet this week without Carly moderating and asking me funny questions. And we'll have to delay movie club for next week as well. Is there anybody in here that watched the Animatrix? All right. Well, again, thank you everybody. Really fun to hang out and do some development work and learn some new tools. This is really cool. Thank you, Trekkie26, for your ideas. Really awesome. I'm definitely going to experiment with some of this stuff this weekend, so I hope you all enjoy it when it comes out. And yeah, till next time. Thanks, guys.